So that really took me back for a while because it made me question my ability to judge people, um, my ability to look out for myself. It made me question it for a while until I accepted that the people who do this are really, they're good at what they do. I mean, and I totally can see how people feel justified doing that.
Robbing other people.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. I can see because so I really love Guyana. Although I can say that my worst experiences have been in Guyana, I feel so strongly about Guyana that whenever I go there, there's something about the very air that makes me want to just kiss the ground. I mean, I've seen people do that, and I can totally relate because I have to hold myself back from doing that. Yet, because of the economic situation in Guyana, my interpersonal relationships are just the opposite of that experience. It's not so welcoming. It's not so. I feel like I am. I feel like I'm made to feel like a stranger in my own country. It's quite a dilemma for me in Guyana, although I have decided finally that I need to let it go. So in 2006, when I went again and I stayed there 2000 and I had the experience I had, I gave some consideration to going to British Columbia because of what I was told in 96. So I went to Toronto. I ran back to my family and got strengthened enough. And by 2003, when I was feeling strong again, and I had to make my way because, as I said, Toronto was never a place that I connected to. I kind of passed through Toronto. First being with my mom and then getting married and having my son. I was just there. It never touched me. So I decided I was willing to take the chance and come out to Vancouver to BC. And I remember deciding to come to Victoria particularly because it was an island. I thought a mountaintop experience is about right for me right now. You know, having it surrounded by water seemed very spiritual to me. I grew up right across from the ocean in Guyana. I didn't have that experience in Toronto. And so I decided I would do it. And I decided I wouldn't take a plane. I wanted to take the train because it would give me a few days to assimilate. I also didn't want anyone to tell me. I didn't research anything about Vancouver, about Victoria, because I just wanted to experience it. I wanted to come and get my impressions and just be guided or moved into what I needed to be. And interesting enough, I come into Victoria. I decided I would sit on the bus because I had to take the bus from the train. And I decided I would sit on the bus until it came to the end of the destination. And by that time, I would get an impression of where I wanted to go, what spot along the way I wanted to be.
So did you have a job? Did you have
I didn't have a job. I didn't have any contacts. I did have not a whole lot of money either. I had enough money at that time that I know I could have a shelter for a few days, depending on where I was. It could be a week. It could be 3 days. But again, as I said, I was strong again, mentally, like determined. I was feeling pretty good, pretty confident that I can follow my inner voice. And when I came into the city, I remember it was a Sunday, and it was a typical Victoria day, gray skies with not very light rain, maybe even a mist that you can actually feel the drops but not rain. And I'm not going to say I felt at home, but I felt welcomed. That same kind of energy that I get when I go to Guyana, I felt that. And I didn't know anything, or I didn't have any clue, anything about this place, but I felt that. Decided I would head for the Y. Headed for the Y. Found out that the Y was not within my means. And they recommended a place called Ocean Island Backpackers Inn. I'm pulling my bag. I got there eventually, like, I remember at that time, because I had lost part of my drama in Guyana was having my passport, citizenship, social insurance, having my identification stolen. I actually came back into Canada with an emergency passport.